Okay, this is JP's Fantastic Grinds, number 30. I didn't think I would make it to this, but I'm not sure if there's going to be any more after this. But anyway, this was bound to happen sooner or later, and I couldn't decide which Jethro Tull album to do, but I figured I might as well go with this, the obvious choice. It was either going to be this or Thick as a Brick. Anyway, Aqualung was released in 1971, and ironically was not their highest charting album. I was just looking at Wikipedia and it says that their second album, Stand Up, hit number 1 in the UK charts. And this one only reached number 5, I think. But this next song is the reason, basically, why I chose this album. This is track 4 on side 2. You'll hear it in a moment here. It has a very quiet intro here with the piano, the quiet piano. But I could make quite the long video for the subject of Jethro Tull and still couldn't fit it all in there. But this song that's just beginning now, I've found out, was actually about the history of human civilization, basically. You can see my green chrysalis label here. I have a very early pressing of this, but I'm not sure if it's original. Maybe an American original. But yeah, side 2, as you can see, was called My God. But Locomotive Breath, one of their more popular songs, is literally about the progression of human history. I'm still not quite sure what this song Aqualung is about, but Locomotive Breath, finally I know what it's about. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, I guess, but Jethro Tull has always been one of my favorites. And I don't remember when I was introduced to them. I mean, it's been a while. I saw them for the first time back in the 90s in Virginia Beach at the amphitheater. I think they played the same week or month as Sing Slayer for the first time, or second time or something, but I don't even know if at that point they were still, I don't even know if Martin Bear was there, but over the years I've become more of a fan of this band. I guess they're called prog rock or whatever their word is. And I actually have a signed album signed by Ian Anderson, the singer, who's one of the main, guys in the band, basically his band. But I think I have Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die signed by him. And the last time I went to Europe, I actually traveled to the Czech Republic to see them 2 or 3 years ago. At this point, it's Ian Anderson's Jethro Tull, I guess. I'm not sure what they call it, but a lot of people there are very critical about what's going on now with them Of course, they're not the Jethro Tull they were, 30 years ago, 40, 50, 60 years ago. They've been around since the late 60s, so it's amazing to me that he still plays live. And I felt like I was lucky enough to see them in the Czech Republic. But yeah, Locomotive Breath is definitely interesting considering the times we're in now, because if you think about human history and where we've come to at this point and how it may all come to an end, but that is such a deep subject. There's not enough time to get into all that here. But Jethro Tull to me has always been more of a thinking man's band, I guess. A philosopher's band. But if you ever get a chance, check out some of their other material. Stand Up, one of their earlier album before this, that became one of my favorites. But there's so many Jethro Tull albums. The song Witch's Promise. But I'm not gonna let this go for too long here. But I knew this was coming sooner or later. Some Jethro Tull and the Fantastic Grinds might be my final one. Let's see what happens here. I'm not sure if there's going to be any more of these. Have a nice Armageddon. Have a nice apocalypse.